Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Welcome back. We're so excited you are here with us. And if you're watching now, make sure you comment. And if you're watching in the replay, make sure you type that as well. We have this is going to be the second part of podcast that I started the other day, and we're gonna get into it tonight. And I'm so excited for it because it's kind of fun, it's interesting, and we're gonna get to see a different point of view, two different point of views. My point of view is as a woman, and Mr. Vargas as a male point of view on these new dating terms. So we're excited. Make sure you tune in, make sure you share. If you are watching us on YouTube, make sure you click and subscribe. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're just going to move along here and hold on just a second. Let me get my notes. Here we go. Welcome back to Maria and Friends podcast. I'm your host, Maria, and with me, as always, is my good friend, Ulises. At this point, he's not just a guest, but he's part of the family. Over the past few weeks, we've been diving deep into all kinds of relationship topics, the highs, the lows, the lessons, and the laughter. And the community keeps growing, so we are grateful for all of you who are listening, who comment and share and listen to our stories. Quick disclaimer, we're not experts or therapists. We're just two friends sharing our experiences, our opinions, and our journey in the hopes that something that we share resonates with you and maybe helps you along the way in your journey. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow. It's free, and it really helps us continue to do this kind of content. So, all right, let's get started with the conversation tonight. And we're going to be talking about dating terms, new dating terms. So, welcome, Mr. Luises. Go ahead and say hi.
What's going on, family? Hope everybody is doing well tonight. Hopefully, everybody is doing well. Maria, how are you feeling, young lady?
I'm excited. I'm really excited about the topic tonight because I'm really ready to get into it. And this is something that I started. Let me tell you how I started. A
Mhm.
couple of weeks ago, somebody said a term and I wasn't familiar with it. And I'm like, that is an interesting term. When they were, talking about dating, it was kind of interesting. So I started to do a research on that. And then I found that there's more terms and in different terms. And I started to put together this list of different dating terms that are available now and that people put now. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't know. So that's what we're going to talk about. And I wrote them down, and Ulysses has a list and I have a list, and we're going to share a couple of them. So I actually put together an ebook. So I'm not sure how many we're going to get through tonight, but if anybody is out there interested in it, make sure you put interested in the ebook and I'll get you the information so you can see the whole list of all these new modern dating terms. But they're very, very, very interesting. So, what do you think of new dating terms, Mr. Ulises? What do you think of that?
I'm truly looking forward to getting into it because it's some of the well, when you sent me the list, I was like, who in their right mind came up with this type of terminology? Like who just sat down and was like, you know what? I feel like this person is X, Y, and Z. We're gonna get into it all. Like somebody had to sit down and was like, I feel like
Yes.
bleh, and just wrote it down and somehow made it known in Wikipedia or whatever it is that they found it at, and was like, you know what? Let's run with this. Let's run with this right here. So it's going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be interesting for sure. But before we get started,
Yes.
please, everybody that's listening in, we appreciate you guys so much for
Yes.
joining in. You could have been doing anything else on a beautiful Tuesday evening, but you chose to spend time with us here, Maria and friends. So please, if it's from the kindness of your heart, go ahead and hit that share button. Go ahead and hit that heart button. If you on Facebook, hit that share button, hit that heart button, and don't forget to be engaged. Comment like your life depends on it. It helps us out with the algorithm. And if you're on YouTube, if you're
Yes.
watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that notification bell. Make sure you subscribe first. Takes 2 seconds. Bling, subscribe. another 2 seconds. Bling, notification bell, so that when Maria goes live, you will know about it and you will not miss the amazing content that she brings in and week out. So I just want to throw that in there before we get started for the evening, Maria.
Awesome, awesome. So let's go ahead and dive into some of these terms. So some of these terms, I did not, I have to actually say this, I did not come up with these terms. These are actually terms that have been from different sources, different people, different articles. So I just piled all of them together in one list. So my goal is that we talk about them, discuss them a little bit, and for you to get a basic understanding of what is out there that nowadays. So that's basically our intent, for you to know, for you to find out these crazy terms that are out there in regards to dating. So let's start with number one, which is ghosting. That one is very, very popular. So if you haven't been familiar with it, I'm telling you, I'm going to read to you a little bit of what it is. Ghosting happens when someone you've been talking to or dating suddenly disappears without any explanation. No text, no call, no closure. One day the conversations are flowing and the next is totally silence. So this emotional disappearing act can leave you questioning, what did I do wrong? So my question to you, Lisa, is have you ever been ghosted or have somebody ghosted you?
I have done both. I have done both. You know,
Okay.
because sometimes, and it's and I feel a little way about it, right?
What do you mean you
Because
feel a little bit away?
I feel a little way about it because sometimes you're engaging in conversation. Like there's the talking stage, right? There's the hey, I'm trying to get to know you stage, right?
Yes.
And then when the conversation is not hitting the way you would like it to, most people tend to be like, and kind of just try to disappear, right? Obviously, the person doesn't know that you're ghosting them, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, I've been in situations where it's like, yeah, like all of a sudden it's like, hey, how are you? And then crickets, you know? And then other times it's been, hey, how are you? Then 8 hours later, oh, I'm sorry, I'm really busy. That was a busy day today. Woo! That's why I just picture, woo, I was just so busy that I couldn't text. And me, like I'm the type of person, Maria, where I catch hints, right? I'm not gonna be chasing nobody,
Yeah.
So if you don't text me, I'm not gonna text back. It's just me. I might try text here, whatever the case is, kind of see,
Yeah.
where the engagement is or, where the interest is, whatever. But outside of that, like it is what it is, and so I've done the same. There are people that I was like, hey, how are you? And then it's like, okay, this is not interesting. I'm not really vibing with this person. And then it's like 8 hours later, whoo, man, it was a busy day today. Whoo, like, and the hope, and most people, when they ghost, right, the hope is that the other person will just catch the hint and just drop the conversation altogether. But it doesn't always seem to work that way.
But my question is, my thing is, why do we ghost? Like, why? Like, I'm going to tell you why, and I want you to tell me why. Like, I ghost because I'm too embarrassed to say, like, I don't want to break their hearts, or I don't want to say, I ain't
You don't want to
feeling
be mean.
it.
You don't want to be
I don't
mean.
want to be mean. So I will just disappear, block, and I don't want to be mean. I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. I mean, especially when they're you know what the worst one is? When they're very, very nice, Elisa's, when they're very sweet, very nice, but it's just not vibing. It's, like you said, it's not vibing. It's not there. There's no commonality. And we're gonna talk a little bit about some other things that happened, but I used to ghost a lot. And I used to, because I'm nice and I just didn't know how to bring it up. I didn't know what to say. So I learned that I needed to be honest and at least have some kind of decorum, or just be nice about it, be an adult about it, really. And I just said, thank you for your time, I really appreciate this, but I don't think this is for me. And that's it. Just not more, not less, not going to an explanation. Say thank you for your time, I'm just not feeling it, this is not for me. That's it. That's totally it. So, and I want to say hi to Tati. Hola, hola, Tati. I want to say hi to Elizabeth, my sister. Ooh, te quiero
Elizabeth.
mucho. And then Persia, Persaida. Persaida dice, I used to ghost and then I was ghosted by someone I really liked. And now I'm just telling them thank you, but we are not a match. And it has been so much better. Me too. I'm like her. We learned. We definitely learned. So yes, I was ghosted, but now I know how it feels. So I say, you know what? Thank you so much, but this is not working for me. And I do say it. Why do men, do you think, ghost, Ulises?
For the same reasons, I mean, for the most part, it's like, okay, we're not really feeling the whole vibe, right? But then the other part of it is there are just some people that just can't take no for an answer. I think that goes for both parties, right? Like a lot of women, they try to tell a guy no, and then all of a sudden, they're pushing it harder, like, oh, you're just trying to play hard to get, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, like, no, I'm not trying to play hard to get. Like, I really don't want to be with you, you know. So, but and it's like, and you always get those. Sometimes, like, I've talked to with many women before, and they'd be like, yeah, some dude tried to holler at me, and I told him I wasn't interested, and all of a sudden, well, you ugly anyway, and it's like,
Yes.
you get a lot of that. For us men, we get well, whoever you think you could find ain't gonna be better than me. It's like you get a lot of, like, a whole lot of that. So it's just like, so it's almost like most people choose the ghost because they don't want to have that follow-up conversation.
Yeah.
Most people, why? Why don't you like me? Why can't this work out? Why da 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 da? Why can why da da? Why? And it's like most of us don't want to have that why. Like, I'm an adult, I'm a man. I don't have to, truly.
Mhm.
I don't have to give you an explanation. As a woman, you don't have to give me an explanation as to why it's not going to work out. Like, just respect my wishes and respectfully keep it moving.
But at least you need to at least have the common courage to say, thank you, but no thank you. At least you could say that. I mean, you don't have to go, definitely we don't have to go into a lot of explanation, but at least you can say thank you, no thank you. We agree on that. That's like more maturity. Like, we got to do that.
It's mature.
The next one is zombieing. Have you heard of that one?
Zombie? No. When I first no, what is zombieing? What is zombieing?
That's another term. Zombieing is when someone who ghosted you suddenly comes back to life, pretending nothing ever happened. You might have received a text like, hey, stranger, as if weeks of silence didn't exist. Their return can stir some old emotions, curiosity, but it's like when somebody who ghosted you, all of a sudden says, hey, stranger, what you been up to? And you're like, what? I haven't talked to you in months. I haven't talked to you in almost 2-3 years. What is? And that just happened to me recently, and I'm like, what? And then they want to start. So what do you think people zombieing you? What do you think goes?
Number one, this is one of those phrases that somebody just sat down and was like, you know what? I had an ex or somebody who I was talking to just come out of the blue, and somebody was like, just like a zombie. Yeah, just like a zombie. Like, and they ran with it, zombieing, But I get it. It's the whole back from the dead concept. Like, this thing was done. It was finished. Conversation was over. And now all of a sudden, the girl that you was pursuing or the man you was pursuing didn't work out. And now you're trying to, check your options again. Like, hold up.
Yes.
Hey, hi, stranger. Hi. And they're fishing. There's fishing to see, if he's still available or not.
Have you ever done it? Have you ever called somebody back after you haven't heard or you haven't talked to them in such a long time? Maybe say, "Hey," have you ever done the "Hey stranger, hey, what's up?"
I
Once
I
you're
have
done, you're done.
yeah, yeah. Once I'm done, like maybe it's just my pride or whatever the case is, but like I can't. I'm not gonna go back and be like, yeah, can we like no, like well, once for me, once it's done, I'm not coming back from the dead. I've had people
Have you
come
had
back.
women? Have you
Yes,
had women?
I've had people. I've had them come back from the dead, and be like, "Hey, stranger, how are you? Hey, more upfront. Just wondering if you still single or not. And it's like, okay, who was it that didn't work out with? What happened? Because that's 99.9% of the time, that's exactly what it is. You know, it's the man or the woman found somebody else more interesting. They found somebody else more interesting. It didn't work out, and now they're trying to see if there's something still there.
And is that a bad thing?
For me, it is because I am not option number two. If I ain't number one, keep it moving, honey. Keep it moving, honey. We ain't playing those type of games around
No,
here.
sometimes you're at different sometimes you're at different stages. Sometimes you're at a stage where, okay, that didn't work, or that maybe let's try it again because maybe I missed it. You're more mature. I'm more mature. We're at a different stage. You have a job. I didn't have a job then. Sometimes things change. So I mean,
I'm I'm a, I'm I'm gonna throw this wisdom out for people. Modern dating, with whether you're on Facebook dating or whatever dating app, Christian Mingle, whatever.
we're not sponsored by them, so don't
We're
give
not.
too much.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But what it has done is that it has given the illusion of options. It gives the illusion of options because there's so many profiles you can just swipe left or swipe right on, and it's like, well, I got an option, but let me put him to the side right here, or let me put her to the side over here. Oh, but there's somebody more prettier. There's somebody that's more whatever the case is. And so the illusion of options gets people in trouble because they don't know how to. It's like the old school of dating is over,
It
right?
is.
Where
It's
where
over.
where you literally the only choice you had was well, what was in your hood, what was in your neighborhood, what was in your city, in your high school. Like that was your really like your only option that you truly had. Now you can meet somebody in Wisconsin if you wanted to,
Across the
right?
world.
Literally in India, Zimbabwe, and be like 90 Day Fiance all
Oh
day.
yeah, isn't that's a one? I like that show. That
Oh
is
man, that's so
crazy. That
that show is nuts. Like it is, bro. Like sister, like what do you like?
it's like watching a car wreck. You just can't. You're like, what is going on here? What's happening? How did that
Uh,
happen? So the
I
next
said
one,
I love
huh,
you. I love you, but
I
you have
know,
you
right?
have the money. You have the money that I need to become an
Yeah.
American citizen. You don't love me? I do, but I don't want to be with you. I love you.
So the next one, let's talk about another one. Another one that pops up is orbiting. Orbiting is when someone stops engaging with you directly, but still lingers in your digital world. So, watching your stories, liking your posts, or reacting to your updates. It's like they've stepped out of your life, but keep a window seat just to watch it unfold. This behavior can sometimes try to, you know, confuse you because they're like in your orbit. They're not like directly talking to you, but they're not like texting you or calling you. But hey, they watch my story. They click like. They're just around. So what do you think people do that?
Orbiting. Where do they come up with these terms?
I
Orbiting.
know. Oh,
But
call him Lazarus. Oh, Presidia. She said that was a good one.
oh, that's better than zombie. That's for sure. We gonna call him Lazarus or what's the female version of Lazarus? Lazarette, Lazarus and Lazarettes. You know,
And Tati says she likes that show. Tati says she likes 90 Day
90
Fiance.
Day.
Man, that there was a
I,
couple there that it was just cringy to watch. It was like, no way. But hey, they're like apparently they're still together.
I can't get into it because it makes me upset. It just makes me
Makes you
upset.
cringe. It gets you.
It just makes me upset.
So
I'm
what do you
like,
think? So what do you think of the people that are orbiting? They're just around. They're not. I have had guys do that. They've been
really?
in my orbit. There's a couple actually right now. They're orbiting, and I'm like, why don't you just come up and say something? You're just I can see, they're orbiting. They like my stuff. They're around. My thing is like if you're orbiting but you don't come and talk to me directly, I don't. I'm not probably not going to say anything. You can be orbiting all around, but if you don't have the guts to come and say what's up, or let me holler at you, or can I have your number, or
I,
hello, it's that there's like no, I'm just keep orbiting because it's not going to happen. Because if you don't have the guts to come and pursue me and tell me how it is, I'm not gonna.
mm,
I'm not.
so
I'm gonna let you. I'm
so
gonna let you
what?
orbit all. I'm gonna let you orbit all you want.
So people who orbit. So what you're saying is people who are like you met them before, you had a date, whatever the case is,
No,
and
no,
then
no. They're just they're you haven't. Well, yeah. You have had a date. You have had a relationship. Oh, no, no.
some level of conversation, like
Yeah, correct. Because we're talking about dating, so they've
yeah.
had like, hi, I like you, you like me, and then they stopped, but they're just in your orbit, like whoops.
But they so what you're so if you met somebody, right? You met
Yes,
somebody and it was like, okay, things was nice, but it wasn't to the point where like you had to block the person from social media, whatever the case
correct,
is. So they're
correct.
just kind of lingering around. So
Lingering. I like lingering better than orbit.
yeah, there's kind of just I think, would you give that person another chance if they was to re-engage the conversation?
Yes. Oh, yes. If you have the guts to come and tell me, hey, Maria, I want to take you out. Okay, absolutely. Because I realize that it takes men are in this difficult position of they need the courage to come up to you and say, hey, can I take you out? And
Mm,
they're risking you saying no. They're putting themselves out there, and they risk you saying no, or saying I know, or you just whatever, or embarrassing them or whatever. So whatever. But I mean, if they in person, especially in person, if they come up to you in person and say, can I take you out, at least I will consider it. I might say no, but at least I will consider and give them the time of day, because it takes courage. Because I feel bad for men, because sometimes us women are mean when we say no. We can be very mean. We can be very, very vicious. We make fun of the men sometimes.
yeah,
Yeah, he asked me out. How like he thinks I'm going to go out with him. And it's like, they. I don't know, because you know what? Because I have sons. And I have sons. I have two boys, two sons, and I would just hate to see a girl make fun of them if they come up to her and say, "Can I take you out?" And they're like, whatever. I just no. So at least I
and
consider it. At least I'll do it nicely. I say thank you, or somehow, but I won't be mean and dismissful and whatever. Mira, se cree mucho. Mm-mm.
that's interesting because like and from a guy's perspective, we would be a little like, oh man, like I don't know if she would give me another chance because like we went on a couple of dates or a date or whatever the case is, and it just never went anywhere
Mhm.
for whatever the reason is, right? For whatever the reason is, no ghosting, no bad blood. It was just like, that was it.
It fizzled down. It fizzled.
Yeah. So that's a pretty interesting perspective that you have, that you would at least entertain the idea of well, you know what? Like, okay, it's been it's been a year or two or whatever, but we're friends on Facebook, we're friends on social media, even though we really don't engage much, or if at all, whatever the case is. But you know, but to me, like the way my brain goes is that again, like you're lingering, you're orbiting because somebody else caught your interest, and now for whatever reason, like now you're trying to
And
go
that's
back.
and why is that wrong? Because why would that? Wait, let me not play the devil's advocate, but let's talk about
Play
that.
it.
Because
Yeah.
because what if we sometimes need to be dating two or three. I don't know how to say this. Not dating.
Okay.
No. Let me rephrase this.
Please
I
do.
think we
Please
need to
do.
be. I think we need to be courting. No, I think we need to be talking. We need to be
Mm-hmm.
interviewing two or three. Because if you're gonna, let's say I'm talking to Juanito, Pepe, y Pablo, and Ricardo, and I'm talking to all four of them and getting to know each other. Let me dedicate 2 years a Pepe, 2 years a Jose, 2 years a Pablo, 2 years, and then if it doesn't work, I move on to the next. No. You just, I don't know. That's a very.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But again, it's the whole it's the whole illusion of options, right? Because it's like, you for me, like having conversations with different people to see, you know, who I'm going to choose to pursue, right? And if that doesn't work out, and it's just where my brain goes, right? Where my mind goes. If that doesn't work out, then I would feel some type of way of, you know, going back to, the runner up. Basically, is what it is. The runner up and being like, hey,
But
hi.
but the thing is that sometimes you don't know what you don't know. You don't. Hey, Bridget. Hey, Preciosa. Hey, Bridget. Mr. Pantera from Juarez. He is back. He wants to say hi.
What is?
From
What is?
Juarez. He's like, he thinks it's funny. So what I was saying that I just lost my train of thought. Oh my God.
The runner up. The runner up.
Yes. There you go. Thank you. Because I was looking at the comments and I'm like, oh, okay. So people change, Ulises. People change. And sometimes you don't know what you don't know because you think this is person you're gonna date. You're talking to this person. You're like, you know what? I chose wrong. What if you chose wrong?
Yeah. I mean, but
Yes,
that's
I mean,
that's basically what happened.
do you always
That's
choose
basically what
right?
happened.
We don't always choose right. You chose wrong, and I'm like, you're not married to the person.
Relationships like playing the lottery. Like you
Por
might
eso.
get.
And then let's say you date this person and not, you start getting to know the person, you're like, híjole, no, this is not I didn't choose right. Or you know what? After you
You
get to know her, you're
crazy.
like, no,
You
you know,
crazy.
yeah, she
Mhm.
crazy or me equivoqué, whatever. Well, then let me talk to this person and give them a chance. Why do I have to erase the whole board? And I mean, I seriously,
Because most people won't entertain the idea. It's like, okay, you and I were talking, and all of a sudden we stopped talking for whatever the reason is. Most people would be like, okay. Most people would know that whoever you pursue didn't work out, right? So it's like, and comments, like, for those listening in, like, tell us how you feel about it. You
you want to
know,
go ahead and read Presidia's comment?
Persida says, I think you should choose one, but not give them years because I think you know soon if I think you soon to know if you chose correctly. And that's the hope, right? But a lot of us have a tendency to ignore red flags and think like I said, I always say before, we think the red flags as blankets. We're trying to hold on to it as much as possible because it's lonely and it's cold out there.
Cuffing season. Cuffing season is coming up.
It's exactly. Winter's coming and we need somebody to hold me. So but at the end of the day, it's like Shooting again, like man, like the hope is, and all I can say is the hope. I mean, people who've been married, they got married off of hope. They got married off of let's give this a chance.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? To see if it works.
It it,
And go ahead. You
it
about to
takes
say
faith.
something?
Sometimes it takes faith. Sometimes we marry on faith. Oh my God, we marry
No,
on
for
faith.
sure.
But my question to you: you would not date anybody that chose you as a second option?
It
If a woman comes and says, you know what, I selected Pablo and it didn't work out, but I know you were interested in me and I really liked you. How about if we give it a whirl? You would say no
I've said no before.
to that?
Yeah, yeah,
Why?
yeah.
Oh,
Because
you must have not liked her that much because if you said no, because sometimes when you like the person, se te olvida, you're just like, hey, I don't care if I was the third, fourth option, let's give it a whirl.
well, because number one, I am an overthinker, so that's definitely one of my strengths and weaknesses. Right? I'm an overthinker, so my overthinking brain goes to if there's always going to be 100 million people out there that's going to be cuter, better, finer, funnier than me. Like it's just it is what it is,
Mhm.
right? So what's going to stop you from choosing somebody else if I wasn't your first choice or second choice or whatever the case is? So it's like that's just and I could my brain could very well be wrong. I could very well be wrong in that thinking, and I ain't got no issues admitting that. But that's just initially where my brain goes, where
But
it's
the per-
like,
but the person could say, you know what, I found out, I realized it, I I grew, I realized that that was not the role. It's because the thing is, it's because some people choose wrong. So you need to give people a second chance because sometimes they choose wrong. And if I think in my case, if they come up and make a good case of why they want to give a second chance, the dating, make a really good case. Tell me why. What makes you think that this will work? And they make a good case and buy me something nice. We're in.
now to your point, I'm not the type of person to just blow them off. Like I would entertain the conversation.
There we go. At least do
I
that.
would entertain the conversation, but I ain't gonna lie, it would be an uphill battle for the
But
person.
then with time, that person could prove you wrong. And then you'll know for sure. And then you're done. Then you're really done.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so let's go to another
Oh, my favorite one. This is my favorite one right here.
benching.
Benching, my favorite one.
Benching happens when someone keeps you on the sidelines. They just text you enough to keep you interested, but they never commit to any plans, labels the relationship, or move things forward. You're not getting forgotten. You're just not a priority. It's like an
Mhm.
emotional limbo. So what do you think? That's benching. They just like you're playing the game of life, and they say, "Okay, Maria, I'm gonna put you on the side. I'm just gonna text you at least once a month. Just keep you there. Just you know, I know you like me enough to wait for me. So wait. I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna do this relationship. I'm gonna do life, and I want you to just I like you, but stay there. If this doesn't work, I'm gonna come back to you. You know,
I know. I think.
yeah, and
I,
you got a shirt. You got a shirt because you belong to the team. You're in it. You're in it. You're gonna do it. But you know what, Maria? I like you, but let's. I really like you, but we're not making no plans. You know what, Maria? I like you, but hey, let's go for dinners. Yeah, we'll go to dinner sometime.
mm, benching sounds. It almost. I'm not saying it does, but it almost sounds a lot like Lazarus and Lazarettes,
Like ghosting,
right?
no ghosting. They want something with
No,
you,
like
but then
zombie.
oh, okay,
It almost
almost,
because
almost.
it's the whole. I'll call you when I need when I not when I need you, but when I'm bored,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
When
Candace.
when my starters
There you go.
are not, or my starters are not working
Yes.
the way that I need them to at that moment. When 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 my number one draft pick, when my number one draft pick is working and can't talk on the phone right now, that's when I'll call you. You know, when when my starter is, out of town, then I'll call you off the bench to take you out to Chili's, you
Yes.
know,
Yes. There we go. Oh, oh.
or the Panda Express. You know what I'm saying?
No, don't get Panda Express involved. Hello. Don't get Panda Express involved. Them are fighting words, sir. Them are fighting words, okay?
But Ben
For those of you who don't know it, I like Panda Express a lot. That's why he's
a
saying that.
lot. Yes, a lot. Every single time Buddy and I are talking, I'm at Panda Express. I'll call you right back. I'm at Panda Express. Me and Panda Express are meeting. We have a meeting today.
We have a relationship.
That's who she's dating, Panda Express. But I can't compete with it. I can't compete with Panda Express. I can't. But benching is tough. And the reason why it's so tough, man, is because that person that is being benched really likes that person.
Yes.
And they always have a hard time saying no. They have a hard time keeping that boundary because they're so desperate for that love, for that attention, or for that man, or for that woman, that they will say yes to whatever it is that person wants. And most of them know that they're
Mhm.
not option number one.
Yeah.
Most of them know, like, this person will never give me the time or day, but he's giving me the time right now, and I'm just going to take it. And I hope that maybe if I treat him right, or if I treat her right, if I treat them better, that they will change their mind and put me into the into the starting lineup, and that way I can, do what I got to do, whatever the case is. But it never ends, and it does not end well for the person being benched, and it's really tough. It's to me it's a sad situation
Mhm.
that and we said it earlier in the show, where it's like, if you can't be honest enough,
Mhm.
like, if you can't be honest, you're gonna hurt people. It's just what it is, and you're gonna hurt people worse if you keep leading them on, if you keep throwing breadcrumbs.
There we go. Going to the next one.
Oh,
Breadcrumbing.
wow.
Breadcrumbing. That's when you give them enough. Excuse me. Oh my God.
Hansel and Gretel.
Es que alguien
Breadcrumb.
está cocinando aquí y me está ahogando.
So, while you're clearing out, is there any comments that we can read while you're while you're we gonna get there, people. We gonna get there, people.
Breadcrumbing is when
Somebody's burning the house down. Quick, call 911. Somebody at El Paso. Oh, sorry. No, I don't want
no, he's just joking, just joking. Breadcrumbing is when somebody gives you enough attention.
to. What? What is happening right now?
When somebody's giving you, oh my God, this is live. There's no way I can fix this.
What is happening right now? Breadcrumbing is when people, there's always like like
Well, I give you a little attention, you follow me. I give you a little piece of attention, you follow me. Just exactly what you were talking about. I just give you enough for you to follow me, for you to keep looking my way, for you to, I give you a little hug, extra hug. I give you a little call, but then I don't. But then you just kind of, with like following me, like with a, that's what breadcrumbing is,
Breadcrumbing.
kind
You
of like
know,
what you're saying.
it reminds me of Hansel and Gretel, you know. Um, but like the way I look at breadcrumbing is, like you said, it's leading you to a situation where that's like, we all know the story where the witch tries to eat the kids, tries to feed them, breadcrumbing, house of sweets, everything's so sweet, everything's so nice, everything's so tasty. Look
Yeah.
at what I can do, da da da. And it's like, and all they're trying to do is just fatten you up, and it's unhealthy.
So let's
You
go
know,
on to the next one. It is kitten fishing. That one was very interesting. That's kitten fishing. That one, what it means is, how catfishing is when you totally fake who you are. You totally say, your name is a different name.
mhm.
All of that. You totally fake who you are. If you're a woman, you're a man, and things like that. So like I got catfish big time at one time because I thought he was a guy, but it was a woman. And then,
Wow.
that's a whole story. Anyways,
Wow.
so this one is not as bad, but this is, for example, let's say that you say things like, you're a janitor, but you say you're a maintenance supervisor. Let's say you make this so much money, but you really make less, or you just lie. Really, that's a little bit of lie to make yourself more presentable and more likable and more, like a better
Mhm.
perspective. So that's
So
what it is. So do you think
so
that's wrong when a guy exaggerates what he makes, or exaggerates the car he drives, or exaggerates that is not that he lives with his mom, is that his mom lives with him? Yeah. That's happened too. That's happened too. Like, no, my mom, I don't live with my mom. My mom lives with me.
I take care of my mama.
I take
I
care of
take
my
care of
mama.
my mama. Mama.
So what do you
Man,
think of
it's
that?
I,
Is it
that's
okay to exaggerate who you are?
it is not okay to exaggerate who you are. Because it's like, have you ever talked to somebody, to a guy,
Hmm.
and you or anybody in the comment section, all the ladies,
Okay.
and the dude was like, because one of the biggest things that women like are taller men, right? So one of the first questions they will always ask, "How tall are you? How tall are you?" I'm 5'3",
Yeah.
I'm 5'5", and the dude be like, "Yeah, I'm 5'9", 5'10", and then it's like bro, like most people don't even think they're going to get to first base, so they be like, "Yeah, I'm 5'10", and it's like, "All right, cool, no problem." And then when y'all actually meet, you're taller than him, and it's like, at what point
Yeah.
do you realize, like, one day you're gonna be seeing the person you're talking to?
Yeah.
So why are you gonna lie about your height? Why are you gonna lie about your financial status? Because eventually, like, oh yeah, I'm a supervisor, this and that, third, and you're talking about, hey, I got a moped I could pick you up in, and we can go cruising down the El Paso streets. You know what I'm saying? Ching 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 ching.
Yeah.
I got a helmet just for you.
Oh,
It's like, like something is wrong with that. So it's like, you have to, like, men, you gotta do better. Just be honest, man. Like, be honest about your situation, because it's already enough pressure as it is as a man to be able to provide, because a woman is going to want somebody to provide, and it's like working that Circle K. Ugh, you
but
know.
the competition is tough. The competition is tough. Sometimes the competition is tough out there. So sometimes they like to, exaggerate a little bit. And then they're like, well, once she likes me, she'll go over it, or she'll forgive me and stuff like that. And sometimes that don't happen. I mean, I agree. We have to do better, people. Like Luis says, we have to do better, and we have to
Yeah.
be honest. And yeah, I've learned that. I'm to the point that hey, this is who I am. This is it. Like it or leave it. I mean, I'm.
Is
This is
is
it.
is is kitten fishing also included when somebody tells you that they've been divorced for 3 years and it's only been 2 months?
That's a lie.
Will that be considered kitten fishing?
No, that's a lie. That's a plain lie. That is just lying.
But also telling somebody your job status is a lie.
It's a lie.
You know,
Yeah, but it's a lie. It's a fancy way. I mean, the term might be kitty fishing, but it's a lie. At the end of the day, it's a lie. I don't like that.
has that ever happened to you? Like because
Yes,
here's the thing,
yes,
like
absolutely,
for the most part,
absolutely.
especially with those of us who've been divorced, we know now that there's a process that you should go through, some healing that needs to take place before you jump into another relationship.
Absolutely.
I unfortunately did not, right? I was, you know, I was 6 months separated when I started dating again. Um, and so there was a lot of healing that I needed, to take place. The relationship that I jumped into lasted almost 2 years, and
Wow.
and almost got married the whole nine, after my divorce got finalized, you know. But the relationship ended for a whole other reason, but in that relationship, the reason why, I being, everybody's superpower is hindsight, right? Everybody got that superpower, hindsight, where it's like, man, if I had a chance to do that over,
Hmm.
I would, because my biggest hang up, the biggest thing that I needed healing from was that I almost married, you know, my ex-wife 2.0, you
Wow.
know, but and so, when I finally went to counseling and I started seeing the therapist and all that stuff, they was like, why do you keep choosing the same type of people? Why do you keep choosing these type of, personalities? And I had to really dig deep in myself and really see for myself, like, like, you know what? From my childhood, I always wanted acceptance and I always wanted this and I felt like I needed that. And I felt
Hmm.
like that I couldn't be able to do X, Y, and Z. So I tried to find people who were independent, who knew how to do the things that I felt like I was lacking in,
Hmm.
that I felt like I wasn't smart enough to do. And so, like, once I began to heal from all those past hurts and began to heal, then all of a sudden, as we say, my picker was completely off.
Hmm.
Like, if this is the middle, I was like, some of y'all got that gas tank needle that doesn't work no more, and it's just like laid out over here, so you don't know if it's full, if it's empty, or what's going on. It's just sitting right there. The only way you know is when the vehicle starts, and then it shuts off. So that's where I was when it came to relationships. My picker was complete. My needle just wasn't working. And then when I began to heal, then my needle began to work, and I began to, okay, this is what, like, I need to put gas here. I need to fill my tank up here. And then all of a sudden I became so full of self-love and self-care and healing, that now my picker is, thankfully, a whole lot better than what it once was. But it was because I took the time to heal. So, people who lie, like, and it happens because it's like most of us don't like to be alone. So the
Yeah.
moment some people have been married 10, 15 years, like they're used to having a person with them. So now they're jumping to the next relationship, believing that they're healed, believing that the relationship wasn't their fault, So they're not the one with the issue. So they just jump on to the next issue. I mean, the next relationship, which becomes the next issue. And it's like, but it's like because you did not take because you did not take the time to heal. You know, you're choosing essentially the same scenarios. Like how many times have we counseled people, Maria, where well, the people who were in an abusive relationship, they finally muster up the strength to get out of that relationship, and they're thanking and praising God for
Yeah.
it. And then the next relationship they jump into is another abusive relationship.
It's because it's what they know. It's what they're used to. It brings in such in I mean, we're not therapists, just we're not therapists, we're not, professionals and any of that sort. But I know enough to say that that's what they are used to. That's what they know. That is what feels comfortable, familiar, and people like familiar. Like people are not when he's too good to be true, that makes you feel uncomfortable because you're used to somebody that's really mean to you or abusive or bad or whatever. And then there comes this guy that's really nice to you, that wants to love on you, that wants to show you're like, what is that? That's not real. That's not real life. That don't happen. And then comes in a guy that's like a little bit rough or mean, and you're like, hey, I like that. I can deal with that because that's what I'm used to. I can deal with a bad guy because that's what I'm used to. It's familiar. Like I know what to do, what not to say, how to. But this new love, gentle, kind, sweet. I don't know what that's all about. That's not probably not even real. So in that, we don't have the tools to recognize it sometimes, and we don't have the tools to appreciate it, to understand it, to recognize it, what real love is. So that's why we tend to go into those cycles. That's why sometimes our selective um, mechanism is not working. It's not working. Is not working properly because it's not what we're used to. It's not familiar because we can handle if we know a certain type, we can handle that. The unfamiliar territory that makes us feel out of control because we're not used to it, we don't know it. That's sometimes what happens. So let's go on to the next one. I want you to talk about the ick. The ick. The next one is the ick is that sudden wave of discomfort or repulsion that you feel towards someone you was attracted to. It might come from something small like how they chew, they text, or talk, but it often signals a deeper incompatibility or intuition. So it's like a little red flag, like, there's like, I don't know, they gave you the ick. They were really good, really nice. Like, I'm gonna give you an example about the ick. For me, there was this guy that very nice. He checked all the boxes and stuff, but we went out to eat, and the way he started eating bread gave me the ick because he grabbed the bread and I don't know, something about his hands because I pay attention to the hands. Like, I mean, if you're not a mechanic, your nails should be clean. If you're a mechanic, okay, I get you. If you're a painter, I'll give you a pass. But when you work in office and then I see you're all black, right? Just in the nails, and then you're eating bread, and then I couldn't get past that. I'm like, I don't care. That's not for me. There's
So what about people who bite their nails?
Well, that's not an ick for me.
Okay. All right.
So it's I guess everybody has different icks. Everybody has different quirks. Everybody has different things that they don't like. Like some people, no. If he does this, that's gross. But to me, the bread and the hands and like, well, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, no. Tell me a nick for you. What's been a nick for you?
Oh my gosh, man. Definitely one ick is, and it's like one of those like there was one that was like she sounded like one of them Valley girls that just just like it wasn't a natural laugh, it wasn't a natural it was like you watch too many reality shows and this is what you're trying to behave like. It's that was definitely an ick for sure.
I don't think once you get the ick, once you get the ick, you can't recover. I don't know, but once I get the ick, you
It's
just
tough.
can't get past that. Like I don't care who you are, what you do. There's
It's
recently,
tough.
recently, I was talking to someone, and because I usually do a video chat because I want to make sure you're real. I want to make sure you're not a girl. All these things, just just get our ducks in a row. And I'm talking to this guy, Ulises, and then he starts doing, and he's talking, and I'm like,
What?
yes,
Uh,
I'm not lying. God is my witness. I'm not lying. I'm like, I get closer. And I'm thinking, you don't know I'm looking at him? I'm like, and it just like unconsciously. And then he says, hold on, hold on, he has a, tiene el teléfono así, he has a phone, and then he starts, and I'm serious. And I'm like, that was it. I'm like, what was that all about? What was that?
Oh my gosh.
But
Now that
totally, you know what? And it's totally unconscious. He had no,
subconscious. Yeah,
digo,
no idea.
not, ¿cómo se dice subconscious? I mean, look, I
Like,
don't
you
know.
know, a person who was famous was Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was famous for like sticking his tongue out. You know, when he did when he was like a basketball move.
But that's
Like
okay. Like, it's like, I mean, you can do poquito está bueno. Like,
so
but you
so
like,
basically
you just,
this dude
you just like,
basically this dude look like one of them dogs, them pugs.
yes, yes, yes. What I thought, what goes through his mind that he has to do that to think? Because it was just out there like that. Just
Hold
out.
on, hold on.
No, no. He don't have. Oh my God! I hope he's not watching. Lord, I'm so sorry. I just like. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to explain. I hope he bueno ni modo. If he has me, I'll tell him.
Is he orbiting you? Is he still orbiting?
He. But it's like, but it's this long. It was just, if it was okay if it was a little bit bitty tongue, you kind of, it's kind of cute, yeah, I can deal with that. I can just overlook. But it was just like, just out there, just I was like,
I mean,
I'm
maybe
like,
he was
what is
trying to show
happening?
you what
What is
maybe,
happening?
maybe he was trying to show you what he can do with that tongue.
No,
You know,
no. There's
let,
no that
let
gave
me
me the,
show off. Let me show
nah,
off.
that gave me the ick. It was that gave me the
No,
ick.
that is
That,
hilarious.
that was
That
okay.
is
So, oh
that
my
is
God. So
hilarious.
let's go into the next one, because we have so love bombing. Have you ever had somebody love bomb you?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, what is you? I'll tell you.
Absolutely.
Love bombing is when somebody right off the bat, I love you. And they don't even know you. I've had guys love bomb me, and we haven't even met in person. And I love you, and I want a relationship with you, and I want this, and I want that, and you're so sweet, and you're so special, and you're so kind, and you're so beautiful, mamita bella, linda, preciosa. And you're like, what in the world is? No, no, no. You haven't even seen me in person ever, and they're just already just this constant, it's overwhelming, and it's fake, and it's unrealistic. It's just, I believe, that begs the question, do you believe in love at first sight?
For sure. I,
You
I
believe in love at first sight?
I believe in love at first sight. For sure. I
There's no
think
love,
people
there's no love at first sight. I
for
believe
sure
it.
there is.
No, God, no, there's no such thing as love at first sight. I don't. I believe that there's
Uh,
whatever. Uh, I believe there's attraction. You can have attraction, a strong, like a strong attraction, but love,
love.
love
I,
develops.
there's,
Real love develops. That's something that grows. That's something you can't love somebody at first sight, and just like you can have a very amazing attraction, but love at first sight, I don't
I
think
mean,
so.
I think love at first sight is more just an expression, right? It's just more like, like how many times, how many stories? I mean, there are people that you could go to your church right now, find a couple of married couples that was like, the first time that I saw her, the first time that I saw him, I knew they were the one, right? They just something in their spirit, like their left toe was tingling,
Oh
like
my Lord.
this is this is so it's like so they had the conversation and they had a talk, and it's like so it's the expression of, I saw you and I just feel. Now it's 50-50. It's 50-50 now. Because let me tell y'all, I know some people. I know some people that are like, yo, I saw this girl at church and I know she's the one for me. The
Oh, God.
Lord told me she the one for me. And I'm like, bro, don't say it. Don't say nothing to her. Don't, I'm gonna take her on the date. I'm like, bro, don't say nothing. Just keep it to yourself. Let the Lord confirm it through her. They
Yes.
get on the date. I just want you to know that the Lord,
Oh no. No.
that the
No,
Lord
no,
told me.
no, no,
The
no,
Lord told me that
no,
you
no.
that you were the one for me. And the girl would run,
Mm-mm.
completely be turned off, completely run the opposite direction. And it's like, bro, like, I told you, why do you,
Yeah,
don't, no, don't, like, the Lord will always confirm his word. If the Lord told you that he's the one or she's the one,
yeah.
wait for that confirmation.
Wait.
Don't just go up there and be like, the Lord taught, because
Yeah.
you're gonna be wrong. Because feelings feelings sound a lot like God if you're not careful.
Mm-hmm.
They sound a lot like God if you're not careful. That's why God tells us to always be sober in our mind and to put our thoughts upon Him, because, to submit our own thoughts and what everything else that you see in the scripture, because it's like my feelings can give me that feeling of, oh my gosh, this is exciting. And yes, lust at first sight is definitely more of a realistic situation than love at first sight, for sure. But
How
it's like,
about get? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no. I was just gonna end it by like saying, like, that's why, like, when it comes to feelings, that's why people get so caught up in their feelings, and it's like you can't get caught up in feelings like that. You just can't.
How about gaslighting? This is one that happens a lot. And gaslighting is a manipulative tactic where someone makes you doubt your reality, your memory, or feelings. They may deny what they said, twist the truth, or tell you you're too sensitive. Over time, gaslighting can break your confidence and make you question your own perception and think you're crazy. And this is something that I did not know existed until it happened to me. I was just dating this guy, and he was just a flirt. He really was a flirt. And I wanted to ignore it because I really liked him. And he said, "No, no, no, you're just exaggerating, or no, that's how this or that, or you're crazy. Why are you always thinking that?" So he started to manipulate so many things that I know what I saw, but because he just had this such charisma and way of him, that you're right. Maybe I'm going crazy. Maybe you're not flirting with her. Maybe you're just friends. Maybe you're this, and so he put such a bad, ¿cómo se dice? Like, just over my eyes, I didn't see, and he really, really gaslighted me, and then he went out with my best friend. So
Ooh.
yeah, that's a whole nother story for another day. But yeah, they did, and it went on for more than, I would say, 8 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's big. I didn't know what gaslighting was. These are all things that sometimes when you've been married for 20 some years, like I was married for 25 years, then you're going on to the dating world and nobody's telling you how it really is out here sometimes, and how you can get caught up. And if you don't have wisdom, you don't have knowledge, and you don't ask God to open your eyes to see beyond, what is in front of you, and you don't pray about the person, you don't pray about God, and you just start having relationships out there without no knowledge, no understanding, you start learning you start learning, como se, with experience and with wrong choices. And this is one of the reasons why for me it's important to have these kind of podcasts. And I really appreciate you, Ulises, coming and giving us the male perspective on some of these things. And I know you don't speak for all men the same way I don't speak for all women, but yet if we can, you just tell people, hey, come on in and let's have these conversations, or come on in and let's talk about this, or bring light, or even if we start the conversation, Ulises, about things that are out there, or the new perception and the new way of people that are dating, if we can start bring some light to it, or just say, hey, I thought I heard Ulises explain this behavior, or I thought Maria said she went through this, and if we can help these women and get an understanding of how it is that the dating world has changed, and especially, and we haven't even talked about how dating in the church is. That's a whole nother subject. We're just talking about in general. So that's really the purpose. Like, if you're listening to us and you say, why are they always talking about relationship, things like that? Because it's what we want, what we're going through, and what we have experienced, and we hopefully our mistakes, you learn from them, and it will give you an understanding and say, hey, this is what's going on. Let me tread lightly. Let me be aware of this. Like, I wish somebody would have sat me down when I got divorced and told me dating has changed. Let me tell you about catfishing. Let me tell you about fake files. Let me tell you about this, about that. Let me tell you about this person and that thing, or how it works, or this is supposed to be, or this is expected, this is not expected, this is what God wants you to do. I wish somebody would have sat me. I had to learn and make a lot of mistakes along the way in learning how some of these things. And that is my purpose. That's why I asked Ulises on the podcast, because not that we just want to sit here and just, we do want to have a lot of fun, because we do have a lot of fun talking. We do, and making jokes. But our purpose is, and I want you to hear my heart, is for you women to open your eyes and just have some kind of understanding, and go into relationships knowing that you need God to walk you through these, that you need to know some things that are out there, so you can be at peace, so nobody steals your peace, so you can guard your hearts, so you can also not play, because sometimes we tend to play games, and it's not just men, it's us women. We play the game really, really well too. We don't talk about that. We always talk about, the man, the man, the men, the men, the men. But hey, it takes two to tango. It takes two. Somebody has to say yes to that text. Somebody has to reply to that text. So there's a lot of game going on. And let's be more mature about dating. Let's be more responsible. Let's tell the truth. Let's be, we're adults, and hey, this is what's going on. And then you decide if we be clear about a lot of stuff. So.
No, that's powerful, because especially when it comes to gaslighting, like, it's such a, some people have a harder time recovering when it comes to gaslighting, because it's, as Maria said, the manipulation that comes with it, because you want to so bad believe the person that you're with, that you will be naive or gullible to whatever is being said. And so it's like, to those who are in a relationship where for a fact that lies are being told, pay attention to it. Whether you're married or whatever the case is, whether you're dating, please, or even potentially dating, pay attention. Pay attention, pay attention, pay attention, because what ends up happening is, when you are in a relationship where they call them the white lies, right? Did you pay the bill? Yeah, I paid the bill, and they didn't pay the bill. Mm-hmm. Or did you wash the dishes? No, yeah, and then they didn't wash the dishes. So it's like, pay attention to those things. Nobody's perfect. People fib, whatever the case is. But nothing outside of God, trust is probably one of the most important things in a relationship. Like, if you don't have trust in a relationship, what really do you have? you definitely don't have peace.
Yeah. That's
You
right.
don't have joy,
That's right.
you know? So it's like, because now you gotta check their phones, behind their back. Or
Right.
you know, or you gotta worry about where, are they where they say they are? If they lied about paying the bill and they didn't, what else are they lying about?
Yeah.
Right. So there's a whole lot of weeds that grow from this root. And we have to be able to cut off the roots in order for you to grow, in order for you to grow healthy, and it's the hardest part is the sacrifice that people have to make.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to hurt to be lonely. It's going to hurt to truly let this relationship go. It's going to hurt. Some of us are in a financial situation where it's, man, if I leave, where am I going to go? Right? There's a whole lot of situations, and there's a whole lot of, it is what it is. But Jesus, man, like, is your peace worth what it is that you're going through? Is your joy like, when was the last time you had it? When was the last time you had joy? When was the last time you were able to wake up in the morning and not be concerned about if your spouse, if your husband, if your boyfriend, or your girlfriend, oh, they was up to 2 o'clock in the morning. Who were they talking to?
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time you had that peace that you were not concerned about what they were doing? But all these modern dating terms, whew, they're fun to talk about and they're funny.
They're ridiculous. They're ridiculous.
Ridiculous. But if you look at all the terms, Maria,
Yeah.
like it all boils down to one thing. How do I value myself?
Absolutely.
How do I value me? Am I cool with somebody gaslighting me? Am I cool with somebody right coming back from the dead? Am
Mm-hmm.
I cool with, you
Bench.
know, with pinching? Am I cool with that? It's all about how I see myself. And, we joke about it, whatever the case is, but the truth is, like, that's why I don't know if I can give somebody that second or third chance if I knew that I was not first choice, because that's just where my mind is like, I value me. Like, I know I'm not perfect. I know I'm not, I don't I'm not a millionaire, whatever the case is. So, but I know I'm a good catch. I know I'm a good man. So, like, all these things come into play when you are engaging in conversation, engaging in relationships. You can be humble but be confident. All these things that God allows us to be, as we continue to grow in our identity. But do you know who you are? And once you find out who you are, then you will know the boundaries of how people should treat you, how you should treat yourself, and how you should treat the relationship that you are currently in or trying to be in. So,
Wow. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. So there it is. We've talked a lot about, and we haven't even touched a couple of more. There's still. Let me just give you a few glimpses. We're not going to talk about them because it's just take us another hour. But we haven't talked about future faking. We probably haven't talked about candlelighting. There is mirroring. There is poking, and then there's woke fishing. Woke fishing is interesting because that woke fishing, that is like when you pretend like you're woke, like, oh, I understand, like, oh yeah, you're into saving the whales, me too, or you're into doing this, oh, me too, or you're blah, blah, blah. And then therapizing, when they use you as their therapist. They really not want to date you. They want to use you as your therapist, and hook up hangover and frosting, and oh my God, there's mooning and situationship. That's a big one. Like you're doing you're like like a relationship, but no labels. So there's a lot of stuff. So there has to be a lot of clarity, and that's where we need to know that we need to
Sounds
have
like a part two.
conversations.
Sounds like a part two.
One of the things that I will say that brings clarity is when you just have a talk. Just have a talk. When you really want to know what is happening in that relationship, even if even the thought, is there a relationship? Let's talk. Let's have and you know what? We avoid difficult conversations. We look up, what is it?
Shrieking.
Shrieking. It's crazy. What is that? I haven't heard that one. Didn't come up in my search. What is it? I want to know.
Tell us what it is. Tell us
Tell me
before
what
we
it is.
leave.
Yeah,
Before we
tell
leave,
me what
we
it
gotta
is.
know what that is. Like,
Yeah,
who's
I
screaming?
don't know.
Who's yelling? Who's yelling at this point?
Shrinking. Yeah, that's crazy.
Shrieking.
So, you know, a lot of times what happens is that we don't want to have those difficult conversations. We don't, because when you have a difficult conversation, you're risking losing that opportunity. You're risking losing that person. You're risking getting the no. And sometimes you rather be circling the drain than getting the no. You just like, I'd rather be, you know, benched, because I am hopeful. I'm faithful to the hope. And sometimes us women do that. We're faithful to the hope of something might happen, something might
Mhm.
develop. And being faithful to the hope sometimes will, all these things will stop you from opening your heart to somebody who really wants to love you, who really wants to be there for you, who really wants to do that. So, you know, sometimes we got to do that. So I'm waiting for Persidia to tell us what that is. So,
Shrieking.
sure.
Shriek.
That's
Shriek.
interesting. I haven't heard that one.
I
So
heard
what are
of
you? So what is your advice to all these women? You.
my advice for those who are
Wanting to
um,
have that difficult conversation.
wanting to have the difficult with my two word counseling ministry, my 2 word counsel, do it, do it, right? Let's honesty in relationships should be the most easiest thing, but yet it's always seems to be the hardest. Um, because sometimes we don't know what to say. Sometimes, you know, we
That's
are
true.
concerned. Sometimes we're concerned about how we're gonna make the other feel. But what about you? Honesty, being honest in relationship is you know, don't allow people to tell you that you're being selfish or you're nagging or you're always complaining or whatever the case is. Like, don't let anybody or minimize how you feel.
Oh, she gave us.
Married,
Go ahead.
whether you're married or not. Oh no, I'm gonna stop everything. I want to know what this is. It's when someone intentionally dates down, meaning they pick a partner they consider less conventionally attractive or desirable with the belief that that person will treat them better.
That's crazy. Take a picture. Take a. Or shocked. Wow. What do you think of that? It's when someone intentionally dates down.
Meaning they pick a partner. Now, I that one's tough because,
Well, because sometimes, you know, sometimes you want to date the ugly guy because he treats you better.
but it's here's the thing,
They do.
like, but
Sometimes the ugly guy treats you better. Sometimes
but but yes, but right. Here's the but, because we see it a lot. You know, like, how did he get with her, right? Like, he's big, whatever the case is, she's fit, she's fine, whatever the case is, but yet she loves the guy because he does treat her a way that she's never been treated before. Like
Yes.
she's dated the men with the muscles and the six packs and
Mhm.
the thousandaires, the millionaires that drive the Lambo, and they treated her like garbage.
Yes. Yes. There's
So so yeah, like that is a situation where they people who've experienced that no longer look at the physical as means of relationships.
what do you mean?
They
What do you mean?
they because what I mean is that they see the person for who they truly are, personality wise, how they treat me, how they talk to me, how they treat my kids if you have kids, whatever the case
Oh,
is.
oh, I get it.
So it's like so they would rather everything just going dark now, but so they would rather, and I could see that,
Yeah.
like the whole Shrek is a Shrekking, because
She put like Shrek and Fiona.
like yeah, so it's Shrekking then, like
You're getting down.
I pronounce it as shrieking, but yeah, it's
So if you're here, like if your standards are here, or let's say you're high class of here, whatever, you date below your standards because he
below the physical standard. Because like there's a
I
guy that I
mean,
used to know.
hey, hello. So, some. Not all of us look like Barbies. Not all of us look amazing. I mean, you gotta give us a chance sometimes. Some of us need a chance. Not all of us are gonna
Yes,
look
yes.
crazy.
Us ugly people need a chance, okay? Us ugly people need a chance. We
Hello,
all need, we all need some love too.
but hey, I mean, is that a bad thing? So,
No, it's not a
Priscilla,
bad thing.
I want to know,
It's
Priscilla, your opinion. Is that a bad thing? Is it to date down?
Shreking is
Or
Shreking is
or
not
is
a
it
bad.
because you're compromising your morals, you're compromising your standards? Is that the bad part of it? Or is it, I mean, you're opening up.
The only thing they're compromising is their physical standards. That's the only thing they're compromising because they want girls want
They
to
want
date the
to be the pretty
6'2",
one in their relationship.
huh?
They want to be the pretty one in their relationship.
Nothing wrong with it, right? Nothing like look at me. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's gonna make sure that he don't lose. Now there are part now that could be I could see some people, like the whole ego trip, right? Like, there ain't no way he gonna cheat on this. Ain't no way he gonna cheat on this. But the personality can make, and that's a whole other show right there.
No, tell
Person.
me about it. Don't no show. No other show. Tell me what you mean by that. Tell me what you mean by that. They're pretty girls. Pretty girls have
Yeah,
bad attitudes.
we see it in Hollywood, right? Like everybody's beautiful in Hollywood, yet you will always hear, "Oh, so and so's divorcing so and so because so and so couldn't keep their zippers, intact," right? Husbands cheating on them, like so. Looks have nothing to do. Like J Lo, Jennifer Lopez, as pretty as she is,
Beautiful.
has gotten
Beautiful.
beautiful, but yet can't keep a man.
Beautiful.
Cannot keep a man. Ben Affleck, as handsome as he is, Brad Pitt, as handsome as he is, can't keep a woman. Just can't keep it. So it's like looks don't mean jack. But yet that's what society has taught us to really hone in on, and then hoping that the character comes with looks instead of let me find somebody with character and fall in love with that. But they want the looks, they want the fine body, they want the big booty, they want the muscles, or they want whatever the case is, and they're like, Lord,
I know, but there's got to be some attraction too. There's got to be some attraction. Just saying it. Just there's got to be. Give me at least
for
one.
a woman,
I mean, I'm not
for
saying.
a woman though, hold
I'm
on.
not saying. I'm not saying. I mean, because look at me, Lisa. Look at me. Look at me.
Yes,
Because
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
has a great personality, but I just can't do that. I can't do it. I great personality. Business owner, all that good stuff. But I can't get
Can I,
past
can
that.
I, can I get a kiss?
I can't get past that. Sorry, I just can't. You know what I'm saying? No.
But okay,
No,
but that's
no,
but
no
that's
puedo, no puedo.
for sure, right? But if he didn't, here's the thing though. How can I say this? How can I say this?
Just say it. Because you see, all of these is what I'm hoping we just have real conversations about things that are out there, because we need to ask God to help us in all this situation. We need to.
A woman, sorry, a a, a woman is more, and correct me if I'm wrong, right? Because I could be very well be wrong. A woman will fall in love with somebody who treats them great, even though they may not necessarily be attracted to them physically.
Correct. Some of us, yes.
And when they fall in love, because women are more emotional,
Yes.
because they love the person for their character and how, like, a woman wants to feel like a princess. She wants to feel like a queen. She wants to feel
Yes.
respected. She wants the door
Absolutely.
open. She wants
Yes.
the chair pulled out.
Yes.
She would give the world to a guy who can consistently do that, no matter what, no matter how they look physically. So
Yes.
they will fall in love and be aroused and be attracted to somebody who may not physically look the part, but
Mhm.
because of their behavior, because of their character, they will be turned on. They're always ready to go, whatever the case is, because of that.
Yeah.
For a man,
Yeah.
for a man, it's almost it's almost similar, because if a woman knows how to respect her man, if a woman knows how to give her man the space, if a woman knows how to take care of a man, how to that he feels that he's being taken care of, cooked, clean, whatever the case is, she could be, a big girl or small, skinny, whatever the case is. They will be aroused and fall in love because of how they're being treated. You know what I'm saying? It's just how they're being treated. And so at the end of the day, a, a woman can fall in love with somebody who's right? Because, oh my God, he provides for me, he protects me, he does this for me. Yeah, he's got some quirks about him that I may make fun of him on, whatever the case is, but yo, like, he takes care of me. Or, babe, hey, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. My girl got a mustache, you know, but so that's why I aim for the bottom lip when I kiss her, 'cause to avoid the mustache. But they would, but they're okay. They will be okay with that, because look at how she treats me. Look at how she honors me in front of her family, in front of her friends, in the church, or whatever the case is. So who give me the Shreking. Give me somebody who is less attractive that I normally would go for. She said I'm hanging up. That I would normally go for.
Gina,
But
she's so funny.
man, Gina, I'm coming to El Paso. We're gonna have a great time. And so it's like, so give me somebody like that. Give me somebody with the mustache, with the little trickle of the beard here and there. We'll fix it. We'll shave it when I shave. You know what I'm saying?
No,
We'll
why did you just
we'll work on.
no?
You got a little, you got some little pelitos. Let me go ahead and take care of that for you. You're so cute. You're just so,
Oh my
you
god.
know,
No.
and I just kiss the chin once you shave it up. Oh, so smooth like a baby's
That's
back.
real love. Dude, that's real love right there. That's real love.
That's the love, you know. So, but give me, most people who shave what I shave when we're in there together. The whole his and hers bathroom. Girl, you doing it too? Right there. Right there. All right. All right. You know, but give me somebody who, God, man, who truly loves me for me. You know, who truly loves me and is willing to deal with my quirks, deal with my weirdness, like deal with my stuff that nobody knows about, but
Yes,
yet but, but
amen.
yet but yet treats me as if I'm perfect,
Yes.
right? Because I've been in relationships where people know my past, they know my dirt, and they use it against me.
Yeah.
You know, I think we've all been there. So it's like, when you find somebody who loves you for you
Amen.
and is committed to working things out, if y'all don't hold on to them, I don't know what to tell you.
That's
I
right.
don't know what to tell you.
I think
So
I think you and I need to do marriage workshops. Like we can convince them that no, you hang in there. You go love on your husband, go love on your wife. Hang in there no matter what. Even if they do that, if they stick out their tongue, you st- hang in there. Hang in
just turn off the lights. Just turn off the lights. You won't see the tongue at all.
there.
If they slobber, then that's a whole other conversation. But
What did
yes,
Gina say?
she said, "Amen. Yes, yes, to loving my soul no matter what."
Oh, that's beautiful.
And Precise said she'll take
Oh,
absolutely take a Shrek, and don't give up on real love. Don't because again, modern life has given us the illusion of
that's right.
options. It's not real, y'all. All these options, all these 100, all these females that you might like on the Instagram that they ain't paying attention to you. Facebook dating profile, they ain't paying attention to you. They ain't gonna pay. Stick to where you are. Focus on what you have, and let God do His thing.
Amen.
Some of y'all are so impatient. God, you ain't doing this fast enough. Just be patient. Be
Yeah.
patient.
Amen. Amen. Wow, we've had some really good advice, good talk. So I want to thank everybody for joining us for being here. All of you that are here. Also, I wanted to remind you that we do have a group on school platform that it'll give you insights. We can continue to talk about that. And basically, if you want the invite, I can send it to you. Just say school. Just type in their school on the comments, and I'll send you the invite. It's a kind of like a private group, and we will be talking more over there. You're going to get input as to what kind of themes or kind of episodes we're going to be talking about. If you have some questions for Ulises or we can talk about more there. So we're building that community. So we'll continue the conversation over there. So yeah, just send me the ¿cómo se dice? Just a text there, interested or whatever, school, whatever, and then I'll get you the info. So thank you so much for being with us, and we're real. Ulises and I, we do plan what we talk about, but a lot of times we speak from the heart, and we are just sharing a lot of our
Yeah.
personal life, and in the hopes that it resonates with you, in the hope that God uses something that He's done with us in what we say, and you just get a light bulb moment. So thank you so much for being with us, and until the next time, and those of you that are in the school group, we will see you over there. Thank you so much. You have a good one.